Hey, good afternoon and thanks for joining us right here on Midday Kentucky. As you can see, we have a new look. It was time for a makeover.
It was, and
What
boy,
do you
did you
think?
do a makeover
All
on it.
weekend we were very busy.
I love it.
Do you like
do.
it?
I think it's
I think it's looking
fantastic.
smart.
Yes.
And I think as the weeks go on, we're going to tell you more and more about all the fantastic people that came on to help us. But I like it. It's a
looks
little
great.
bit more cozy.
I think it looks great.
And
yeah.
we've got the Vista windows behind us, which actually will change out every season. So we're really excited.
How cool is
I
that?
love
Isn't it?
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
I know. It only took 2 days, people. That's all. Not long at all.
Not at
Hey,
all.
how was your weekend, Miss Katie?
Mine was nice. Of course, I went to the Whole Foods flight night Friday.
Oh,
that
of
was
course, I
fun.
forgot
How did it
about
go?
that.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I went to Crave yesterday, the food music
Oh,
festival.
yeah.
Remember Allison was talking about?
Yeah.
Allison Davis was emceeing some of those food events. Best food trucks I've ever had. I had Edley's brisket taco. That was one of my favorites.
Did you get their business card to bring them on the show?
Yes.
Good girl.
And then I also had Red Light Kitchen had donut bread pudding.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was so delicious.
Oh, I bet.
It was so
luckily-
much fun.
Okay, let me just say, Katie's training for a marathon, so you can
Yeah.
eat whatever you want right now.
Well-
Normally, we wouldn't be touching that.
Well, I shared it with some other people, so
You're
I had a
a
bite of it.
good
But that was the best part about that festival, where everything was $2 to $3 and just little samplings. You could go around
Well,
and
you're
try a
used
bunch
to
of
that
stuff.
because you
Love
only
that.
pay $6 to go to Whole Foods.
Exactly, and get 5 appetizers.
Exactly. But didn't I see that you went to TLC or something?
Oh yeah, and then I went to Columbus on Saturday night, and I saw TLC perform.
Did you really?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
how
great.
cool
What were
is
they like?
that?
Oh, it was fabulous. I mean, I only know the 2 songs, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls and
Right.
No Scrubs, but it was fabulous.
I don't know any of their songs, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Now wait a second.
No, I don't think
Yes,
so.
you,
know that-
you don't
yes,
know
you
my
do.
rendition, but you know
Probably
the
not.
song.
But did one of them pass away?
Yes,
Is
they
that
did.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. That's what I thought. But
Yeah.
they sounded great.
And
everything.
what they
That's
did,
fun.
TLC did a crowd fundraiser
Yeah.
to try and start a new album. And I think Oprah put in a bit of money. I think it was Oprah
Oh, okay.
that sort of kicked in quite a bit of money. How was your weekend?
Great, wonderful.
Because you didn't have the kids.
I didn't have the kids.
So
I
it was
went
quiet and
to
relaxing.
it was. I went to the summit and did a little
Nice.
shopping and looked around. The first time I've been to the summit.
Oh,
Chris
isn't
Farm.
it beautiful?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's
So you were
gorgeous.
relaxed and sitting
Yeah,
back and just
yeah.
having a nice time. Well, do you remember when I said to Doug that I'd always keep an eye on you and make sure that you're A-OK?
Yes.
And that, I wanted Doug to know that there was always someone here taking care of you and making sure that you wouldn't get into trouble.
Uh-huh.
Well, you just told me you sat back and didn't do much all
Yeah,
weekend.
didn't do
Let's
anything.
just take a look at this video, everyone.
Troy?
Little Miss Lisa singing like no tomorrow. Where was this? Hold on.
Okay.
You got to get to this part. Hold on. I think she
wish
thought
we
she
could
was
hear.
Shania
I
Twain.
can't believe you did this.
Hold on. Listen to that. It's like Shania. Off you go, Shania. What is this?
Okay, so here's the deal.
Uh-huh.
I used to be in a band in my previous life, right?
Right.
So,
I used to be a male stripper too, but there's no video evidence.
but a couple of my great friends and former bandmates are in this band with Avery Crabtree, and Avery is the lead singer. But they called me, or I called them and said, "Hey, are you guys playing out at all this
I'm
weekend?"
free. Let's go in honky tonk.
They let me know where they're going to be. I got there and they said, "Lisa, come up on the stage." Okay, so mind you, I haven't sang in a band for like forever. I mean, it's been a long time. So I literally was on YouTube pulling up the lyrics for the song to make sure I knew the lyrics and could remember them before I got up there.
Right.
But
So
it was
I-
a lot of fun. The band was fantastic.
So
They
I
were
now
great.
see what goes on when Doug's not around. And when you tell me you're having a quiet weekend.
Yes.
I told you I will keep one eye open at all times.
Well,
Nothing gets by me.
I think Doug appreciates you keeping an eye on me.
Did you think I was ever going to show that?
I had no
I asked our
idea he was
producers, I
gonna
said,
do that.
listen, I came in very early this morning. I said, this is what I want to put up on about Lisa. Do not put it in the rundown because I don't want her to know about it.
I can't believe you did this.
Oh, please. You've wanted to sing.
Now I'm in big
So
trouble.
from now on, here's the thing. I worked with a co-host in Utah. And when I say this, I don't mean it with a smile on my face, but you immediately reminded me of her. Blonde. But when I say this, she was going through a divorce. And her way of getting back at him one day on the show,
Right.
she got up and sang this whole show about how horrible her marriage was. And
Oh, no.
it was. We're all sitting there not knowing which way to look or what to do. So I'm expecting for you one day, not to sing about divorce, but to get up on our
I hope
music
not.
act
Yeah.
and pull a few tunes.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. We'll have to just wait and see.
Maybe you could actually sing a song for it to be the opening of Midday Kentucky.
Oh, wow. You know, that would be an honor.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey.
Yeah, as long as you guys do the background vocals, that would
Exactly.
be awesome. That would be great.
I wanted to show you this. I thought this was really
So
fun and a bit cute. Every state in America has its own distinctive personality, and there's usually a reason for that. And here are some hilarious photos that make these stereotypes strikingly visible. This is in Alaska on the freeway. Okay,
Are they dancing?
no, they're fighting. Our teleprompter guy, Lee, we would have seen this many times when we were up there in Alaska.
Wow.
But you see moose just standing there in the middle of the road. This is not unusual. Kansas. Let's bring up Kansas now. I'm not quite sure.
Pretty much sums it up.
It's talking about the Wizard of Oz and, you know, the storms. Now, these are pictures that basically are saying what the state is all about.
Right.
And I thought we'd bring up the Kentucky one. What did you think of Kentucky?
For sale.
This is a typical picture that describes Kentucky. I didn't
I don't
get
know.
it.
Ladies and ground ones.
Really?
I love it.
You've been here the longest out of all of us.
I
Do you
love
think
that.
this describes Kentucky?
I don't think it describes Kentucky. I think that describes the stereotype that people have about Kentucky who are not from Kentucky.
Well, I got one for you two girls, Ohio, since you're both from there. Is this?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not from America, but I did start in Utah, so I sort of feel I'll bring up the one about Utah. And this is basically saying, look, they're saying 62% of the state is Mormon, okay? And they say it's majoritarily made up of polygamists. Well, I can honestly say to you that isn't correct. There is on the outskirts of Utah, there are some communities that are polygamous. We've seen it on TV. But basically, in Utah, it's illegal to be a polygamist.
Okay.
So
how are the outskirts then able to do that?
it's a little tough. It's sort of there, but it's not, because they're their own community. It's a bit weird. But we've seen Jeff, that guy, haven't you seen those reality shows?
Yes.
Yeah, so there are people that do it, but
Yeah.
it's sort of frowned upon, and it is against the law.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was a bit fun to kick off.
Yeah,
the Monday
especially
show.
that's so true, that Ohio one. I'm going on a trip with my dad on Friday. When I saw him this past weekend, we had to go on purpose to get matching Ohio State hats so that we can do the OHIO on our destination.
Oh, is that what they were doing?
Yeah, they were spelling. So they were saying even in death, they were still doing the OHIO.
I got you.
It's great. Look,
Yeah. So they have the cross.
The coffin is the eye?
And the cross, I guess.
Oh my
the dot.
gosh.
Yeah.
That is cray-cray.
Yeah.
I looked at that and I thought, I don't quite understand it. Okay.
Well, that's what's going on. It's for Ohio State.
Okay, so Miss Lisa, there's some information that you were talking about. Are things that shouldn't be done in a relationship?
That you should. Actually, things that shouldn't be missing.
Shouldn't be
So these
missing.
need to be in your relationship in order
Okay.
to have a strong relationship.
All right.
And I came across this, and a lot of things came to my mind.
Well, you're
before
the
I
only
even
one
read
in a
it.
relationship. Just
Well,
be
that's,
clear on that.
Katie's dating over here, so these are good tips for her to look for and to keep in mind.
Is that what we're calling it?
And so.
I'd say $6 dinners. I don't know whether it's a date.
It's a date.
It
I
was a
didn't
date.
pay.
Good girl.
Okay, so here are some of the things. Number one, friendship. It should always be in your relationship. Number two, affection. Number three, teamwork. Number four, playfulness. And number five, support.
So you're saying that these shouldn't be without in a relationship?
Right. You should have these 5 things in your relationship to make it successful. There were actually 10 things total. There were other things like trust, respect, honesty, intimacy, and unconditional love. And intimacy was actually far down on the list. It was like number 8 or something.
I was
like
going to
that.
say.
Yeah.
Because, look, the thing is also, you can be in a relationship and not be intimate, but still be loving with that person. and
Absolutely.
I think that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether you guys feel that, but what else was the other ones? The friendship?
Friendship.
Yeah, I think you got to be buddies.
You do. I mean,
Look,
you're
if you
together
can't,
for a long time.
if you've got intimacy, you've got to have affection. So that's sort
Right.
of, it's hand in hand.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And then the teamwork. I mean, it takes a lot of teamwork. Anybody that is married knows that. I mean, you have to work together to handle the household duties, to handle the children, all of that. It does take a team. And then playfulness. The playfulness. You
I
want
don't
to
know
keep
what
it
that
fun.
is.
It's just keeping the loving spirit fun, kind of teasing each other and holding hands and doing things that are just kind of playful.
That's
and
more
fun.
of affection, isn't it?
It's a little bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
And then
what about you? How do you feel about that when you've been in relationships?
Yeah, I mean, but I think that list is sort of aside from like affection, that's sort of any relationship in your life. Honesty, trust,
Hey, listen,
respect.
I know many
like
women.
you want that with your friends, true,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Listen, there's many women out there that just want to say, listen, darling, just roll over. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Then they're just not interested anymore. But they're still in love with their husbands.
Right.
They just want to wipe their hands and, enough is enough. I'm too busy. Like, let's be real.
But they said if any one of these things is missing, it could be detrimental to your relationship. If any one of those things is missing.
So what's missing in yours?
Nothing.
Oh, interesting.
21 years.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So, I mean, you struggle. It's work. Everybody knows that marriage is work.
All right.
and,
Yeah, don't know. We've never been in it.
But I have a great husband who is.
Well, we'd have nothing
Well, he
missing
lived-
if we
he
don't
lived-
have it to begin with.
I have a great husband who's very
Look,
supportive.
I
so-
totally love myself.
Me
the
too.
I love my own friendship.
Yeah.
Teamwork, it's all about TT. And playfulness, I make myself laugh.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So I hold my own
I mean,
hand.
Netflix.
So there it is.
Yeah, it's
You've
like
got the best relationship out of all
we
of us
sit up
here.
on the lounge and eat popcorn and drink a glass of
fabulous.
red wine.
Yes,
Tickle
yes.
pink.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Hey, I've often thought about this, about what age should you be when you give up clubbing?
And what do you guys think that age is?
Never.
See, well, we've just seen you on,
Okay.
on
I know, so
stage.
there's my,
Let's be real. I think depending on what sort of club. Do you
Okay.
mean discotheques?
Yeah, not for clubbing night with your friends. You're going to a bunch of clubs. What do you-
Dancing? I mean, is that, 'cause that was
Anytime,
my
really.
thing. I'm like, define clubbing. That's what I wanted to know. Like,
I think clubbing Friday and Saturday nights like I used to. And, pull yourself out of bed Monday morning to go to work.
Right.
You'd sort of sleep all day Sunday because you've been clubbing
Yeah.
for 2 days.
What age does that need to end?
I think maybe early 30s.
Yeah, well, so this is interesting. This was sort of an unofficial study. This company in Britain surveyed 5,000 people to see when they think you need to stop clubbing. And it was at 31.
Oh.
But then they say it becomes incredibly inappropriate at 37. So I think you have
Inappropriate.
a buffer zone now. They said they judge people. At 37, you get judged.
Well,
they
can I
said.
be honest
but if
with
you
you? There have been many bars that I've gone to and have been out dancing. And I think to myself when I've seen one of the oldies, what we consider oldies, when we were like in our 19, because in Australia you can drink at 18.
Yes.
So you can go clubbing at 18. So the minute we turned 18, it'd be midnight and we'd be at the nightclub door,
I
ready
bet.
for a scotch and soda. And I remember looking at the oldies thinking, oh, I hope I'm not like that. That's so tragic. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Now I'm sort of thinking, I wonder if I could still do it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, what's really interesting in this, they said almost half, 46% of the adults that they surveyed said that they prefer to lounge at home than to go out. And then 30% said their perfect night is just to sit at home in front of your TV binge eating.
No, I think it's still nice to go out.
I think it's
have a
nice to get dressed
cocktail.
up
I
and
do.
go out.
Yeah.
And then you feel good.
yes.
Yeah.
I
But
love live
I
music,
think
so
that
I
with
want to
an
see
age,
live.
yeah, I think maybe the age comes into a factor how often you should do that.
Well, I had a
like
friend-
still always do it, but not as often as
I
you
had a
want.
buddy here from New York and I took him out to a nightclub. At 10 o'clock there was like 3 people there.
No.
So we left. Yeah.
I'm more the happy hour
I was
crowd.
told it was too early.
You should have gone to Whole Foods.
I should've.
Flight night.
Great. Stick around, everyone. We have our fantastic guest here who's singing music live. Stick with us, everyone. You're watching Midday.